the key, what you are looking for as a small business owner is one, it taps into your target audience, your potential customers, the people that are going to patronize your small business, and also the budget and the benefits that come with those tiers.
Hey everyone, welcome to the SOB Marketing Podcast, where we celebrate the SOB that you are, and if you haven't figured it out yet, we mean small-owned business. We don't mean SOB.
Listen, we know that as a small business owner, you are working hard on the daily to keep your business fully operational while trying to promote it. And while some days it may feel like the business is owning you, if we're being honest with each other, I bet you would admit that you wouldn't give up the insanity for anything.
Our commitment here at the SOB Marketing Podcast is to give you the real talk, what works when it comes to advertising, marketing, promoting your business, and then what doesn't really work.
And Chelsea and I promise to always keep the conversation real. Welcome back to another episode of the SOB Small Owned Business. Y'all know we would not call you names. I don't know if you heard me finger snapping there. Marketing podcast. I'm here with my beautiful little baby sister, Chelsea. She ain't such a baby, y'all. I know I introduced her like that, but she's actually in her 20-something, okay?
I'm in my 20-somethings, yes.
Yeah, that is correct. Really quickly, before we hop into our exciting topic that we're, just chomping at the bit to talk about today, friendly reminder to subscribe if you haven't already. You guys, we have over 120 podcast episodes for you to binge and watch right now. So go do that if you're new around here. And then the other part too is I just want to remind you guys, we added something really cool on our SOBmarketing.com website, which is you can send us a voice note. We want to hear your voices. Please, if you have a marketing question, a statement, you just want to say hello to us, go ahead and go to the contact us section on that website, SOBmarketing.com, and you can record straight from your phone, straight from your laptop, wherever you're logging in. So we'd love to hear from you guys.
Friendly reminder, guys, we do a TLDL section for every episode.
Too long didn't listen.
Yes, too long didn't listen. So if you are strapped for time and you just want a quick synopsis of what we talked about today, I got you. Go over to the TLDL chapter and I will give you that quick summary of what we talked about, but make sure you come back and listen to the full conversation later on. Okay, Vivian, so today we are talking about sponsorships.
Yes, I feel like they are super underrated. Can I just start by saying that?
Absolutely. One, they're super underrated. And two, I feel like this is a timely conversation because I personally feel like sponsorships become a really big deal during like August and September. I wonder why.
Yeah. Back to school, maybe.
Back to school. All
sports starting up.
All of the programs are trying to get sponsors. And look, man, if that's your target audience, sponsorships are definitely slept on.
If you're listening to this and you're like, oh man, I missed the deadlines for like academic sports sponsorships, like getting my logo on a banner or whatever that looks like, don't fret, because you guys, the holiday season's right around the corner. And if you don't know, lots of nonprofits and lots of organizations put on a ton of events and they have sponsorships available for these events. So this conversation is going to be applicable to you no matter where we are in the season. Just good information for you to keep in your back pocket.
Absolutely. That's very true. There are a lot of sponsorships out there and they're definitely offered year round. I just feel like it's more noticeable. Like all the parents are out like, hey, you want to sponsor my child's little league?
Yes, for sure.
What is that, baseball? I don't know.
Chelsea does not know anything about the sports except for Gamecock football. Go Cox.
That's true. That's the only football I'm going to be watching. Okay, Vivian, I want to start this conversation by reading the definition of a sponsorship. I feel like we're all on the same page, but let's just define it, right? So according to Google, it is a mutually beneficial agreement where one party, the sponsor, provides monetary support or another agreed upon form of support to the sponsored in exchange for promotional benefits.
Can we address this up front because I'm gonna say something that is, I don't know, maybe go rock the boat a little bit.
Ooh, she's being spicy today.
Yeah, spicy.
Okay, let's hear it.
So if you are a small business owner, your intent in using or signing up for a sponsorship is to get promotional benefit, as the definition states. You receiving that promotional benefit is only as good as you staying on top of it and ensuring that you receive it. Do not make the mistake of assuming that the organization is going to contact you, tell you exactly how you're going to go about receiving this. And I say this because I have a lot of experience in this area where we will promote all kinds of events or sponsorships, teams, and they're all run by very different people who have very different personalities. Some of them are more organized than others. And so sometimes where you think, oh, this is just the status quo, usually they'll reach out to me, ask me for my logo to put on the banner. Well, just ask them up front. Cover your bases when you are signing up for this stuff to ensure that you are receiving the benefits that this sponsorship gives you.
Yeah, Vivian, can I take it one step further and say, if you're going to do a sponsorship, I suggest that you inform everyone that's involved in your small business, right? So all of your employees, your staff, let them know that you're doing the sponsorship, because sponsorships are fun.
They are. It definitely gets people excited, and especially if as an employer, as a small business owner, you are sponsoring, let's say, one of your team members' child's, sports programs or something in the community that people are extremely proud of. So part of the reason also, I would say as a small business owner, it'd be a good idea to do this is if you just let your team know, like, hey, by the way, this year we're going to sponsor so-and-so Little League. If you guys are at the ballpark one day, be sure that you take a picture, a selfie with your family in front of our banner that has our logo on it. And then you have stuff that you can throw up on social media to remind people like, hey, we support the community. So it's little things like this where you can actually get involvement from your team that's going to make that sponsorship go a long way, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's something, Vivian, that I want to focus on in this conversation is community and how it's going to help you embed yourself in your community's story. Y'all, people like supporting their local communities. People like being a part of something, and knowing that you as a small business are a part of it, people are more willing to spend some cash with you.
Yeah, I think it shows them your intention and your heart as a small business. I think that it's funny to say that the small business would have a heart, but it's true. Like if you're trying to show people, like, I often think of businesses as relationships, the same way I do relationships. If you and I have we have a sisterly bond, we have a relationship, our bond is only going to be...
I'm so sorry. Could you imagine if we like hated each other? I mean, for one, we wouldn't work together.
That would be very uncomfortable, I think. But that's the whole thing is our sisterly bond, our relationship is only as good as it grows over the years. It's only as good as I show up for you over the years. You show up for me over the years. It's less about like just saying, hey, I really like you as my sister. I love you. Well, great. But if your actions don't align with that, that's not going to prove that or show me that. Same thing with your small business. If you guys are saying, hey, we're a small business that loves our community and we're involved.
Yes.
Okay, well then how are you showing your patrons or potential customers how you're involved in the community? Is it through sponsorships? This is a great way to solidify that. Is it through you guys hosting things or participation and stuff? These are the practical ways you're going to show people that you're committed.
Yes, I love that. I have two things. First thing, this is really hard to fake, okay?
Yeah.
You can't fake a relation. I mean, you can try to fake a relationship. I don't think it'll go very well. And I want to go back to you saying small businesses have heart. I think it's much easier for small businesses to demonstrate the relationships that they take seriously.
Yeah.
So this is perfect for you guys. This is where you're going to stand out against a big brand because you can tell when they fake it.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes I love that you brought this up, though. For one, I do want to just remind you guys, if you have a small budget, sponsorships align with that. I don't want you to think that because you don't have $500 to spend on getting your logo on a banner or something that you can't participate. Many of these sponsorships, whether it be for an event or whether it be for a team or something that's going on, they have different levels. Those levels start, at different monetary places or I guess points, but it could be something as simple as like tiers.
Sorry.
Yes, thank you. I was like, what is the word I'm looking for? It could be something as low as $100, right? And then it could go all the way up to like $2,500, $5,000. Some of them start at $250, but it's for a season or a particular time. The key, what you are looking for as a small business owner is one, it taps into your target audience, your potential customers, the people that are going to patronize your small business, and also the budget and the benefits that come with those tiers.
Yes.
All right. Because that's the one thing I'll tell you when I'm debating, okay, if we're looking to tap into this particular market, how much or at what level should we sponsor this particular event in this region? Okay, well, what do I get with the $500 sponsorship and what do I get with the $1,000? And is it worth that extra $500 we're paying? Like, is the exposure we're getting that much more that it's worth the extra $500 at the $1,000 level?
Can I say something controversial, Vivian?
Whoa, you're going to say it anyways, even if I say no.
That's true. I think sponsorships are one of the very few places where... Now, do I think you should absolutely focus on your target audience? Yes. If you are passionate about something, about a specific like charity or specific
Cause?
Cause. I was looking for the word cause. Yes. If you're passionate about that and it aligns with your business's key values, core values, it's okay if you want to do that sponsorship. I mean, obviously it's okay. You are the small business owner. You do whatever you think is best. But I want to make sure that aligning with your values when it comes to marketing can be as important as reaching your target audience. Now, you have to be comfortable knowing that you might not reap what you've spent.
Yes.
You might not get that return on investment because you're not focusing on your target audience. But if it's something you're passionate about, go for it.
Absolutely. Well, and there are so many different ways that you can leverage these sponsorships.
Yeah.
But Chelsea, I know you had wanted to bring up the fact that it's great way to be able to do a little bit of storytelling. How does that fit in?
Yes. For one, let's go back to embedding yourself into your community's history. If there's, for example, now I'm gonna sound like I don't know my community because I was gonna say, it's like the 150th year of. I don't actually know. I don't think that's true. Don't quote me on anything. Let me rephrase all of this. If there's an event celebrating the 150th year celebration of something in your community and you get to sponsor that, that's something that's ingrained
Yes, that's
in
huge.
history. That's huge.
Yeah. I think about how here, what was kind of interesting for Somerville, the community that we live in particular, is we wanted to be put on the map for something. And somebody figured out that we were actually one of the first people to brew tea.
We are coined the first, the birthplace of sweet tea. Vivian, can I ask you a question?
Okay.
Do you think that's true?
I mean, listen, I don't think you have people all over the United States and can specifically say that we are the very first to do it. But one of the rules, it's not a rule. One of the things that people tell you in marketing is if you could be the first to do anything,
If you can be the birthplace.
Yes, you get to stake your claim on that. Yeah. And it's a brilliant marketing strategy. Okay.
Yes.
So Somerville leaned fully into it and we became the birthplace of sweet tea. Okay. Then there was this whole thing where for a matter of years, and even still to this day, we do an event that's centered around sweet tea, like a celebration.
It's the Sweet Tea Festival. Is what it's called. It's actually coming up. It's in September.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you
so
go.
I remember we had the first one because I volunteered to actually be there. And so that's another thing that we can bring up is sometimes the sponsorship isn't necessarily a matter of money, but it can be a matter of contribution. Okay, so people will say, great, you'll find this a lot with the Chamber of Commerce. If you are a Chamber of Commerce member, one of the things you can do is you could say, hey, I'm interested in supporting a business after hours. Do you guys charge anything for us to do that? The answer may be yes. A further investigation, or I guess thing you can bring up, investigation, listen to me. A further conversation you can have with them is, let's say you're short on cash funds, but you say, I have a great location. I won't be able to contribute at the $500 level. Would you guys be willing to, in lieu of those $500, I can host the event, right?
Yes.
So you have a place to have the get together. These are negotiating points. And so sometimes a sponsorship can come about if you say, I have team members that can work that event. Would you be willing to put me down at the $250 sponsorship level if we contribute, staff?
I love that.
Yeah, it's great. There are tons of ways you could get creative about these sponsorships. The key is communication, okay?
Yes.
Yes, be very clear and upfront about what you're going to be exchanging because you never want an organization to think they're going to be receiving a monetary fund if that's not where you're going with this, okay? So I just want to say that is your responsibility to be clear in your communication.
Yes. Love that. I know we're talking about sponsorships, and we're going to continue to talk about sponsorships, but I just want to, since we're
It sounds
talking
like
about,
she's doing a little detour, you guys.
I am doing a little, yes, we're taking a pit stop because I do want to say, okay, let's say you are very, very strapped for cash. You can't do any level of sponsorship. You don't have a location to do that with. You could just volunteer. Now, here's the thing. You're not going to get the benefits of a sponsorship. Like, they're not going to put your business name on a board or anything like that. But you could get branded t-shirts and get all of your employees, all of your staff to come out there with you. So it's still a great way to, one, support your community. You're out there doing the volunteer work. And two, you're still getting that brand awareness and increased visibility because you're showing up saying, this is my business, this is who we are, what we believe in, and we do volunteer work.
I'll give you a perfect example of that. Going back to the Sweet Tea Festival, the very first one that we had here in Somerville, the organization that I was working with.
Can I ask you a question? Was that when they broke the world record?
Yes, because I have a picture. I was a volunteer serving out the tea.
They served the tea from that thing?
Yes.
Oh, God. Okay. Y'all, a little background. They also, for the Sweet Tea Festival, the first one, they also broke the world record of the most gallons of tea.
Handed out.
Was it handed out? I thought it was brewed.
Oh, it might have been brewed, but we handed out. So like we had commemorative glasses and what our organization did is we had a ton of offices in the Somerville community. So this was a big deal and they made a big to-do about it. And so we wanted to be involved. Instead of us paying for involvement, what we did is we got a group of volunteers together and our role was literally to be at the sweet tea station, filling up these glasses, handing it out to people. And when I tell you guys, it was manic. It was insane. Okay. I have a picture of me like with two things, like trying to give people sweet tea.
I think for the promo of this episode, we should share these
photos.
These photos.
Yeah, it was very, very busy. And so, but the thing is, to your point, even though we didn't have a monetary sponsorship, we got a group of employees together and we were the ones manning that sweet tea booth tent. And so another way to do this, whether if it's with not with the t-shirt, a branded t-shirt, you could also, because we did have t-shirts. I just can't remember if they gave them to us or if we came up with our own.
Yes.
But the other thing is you could just have like a sign that has your company logo that just says this booth sponsored by or something like that because your team's working it. So there are a ton of ways you could get creative.
Absolutely. Can I just say really quick, Vivian, I'm not going to lie. This entire time I thought there was still tea in that thing.
In the thing? No.
I thought they just left it there. I didn't think about it.
Why would they leave it in there?
I don't know.
You'd get like rats and flies.
Why would you, if you see this thing, I'm not drinking tea out of it.
Well, what she's talking about is they have this huge like mason jar looking thing that has tea in it. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have tea in it, is what you're saying.
Yes. No, it does not.
Okay. Yeah. My bad.
It's a prop.
Vivian's being really judgy right now. We're going to move on. Okay. I don't understand where
this was years ago, you guys. Like, how could they leave sweet tea in there for years and years and years?
I obviously didn't think it through. Stop wasting your time Googling how to market my small business.
Join the SOB community. Get templates, expert advice, weekly Zoom calls with us, and a supportive group of other business owners for, get this, just $50 a month.
Marketing doesn't have to be hard when you have help. Head over to www.skool.com/SOB. That's SKOOL.com/SOB, all lowercase. Join today and feel confident in your marketing. Can we also talk, Vivian, about how sponsorships are going to help with your reputation and your brand image? Because going back to what we talked about earlier, this is not something you can fake, right? So if you're showing up with however you want to support your community, whether that's a monetary value or whether you're volunteering, etc., you are showing up doing the work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I saw the other day on social media, and I thought this was very important. I wanted to share it. Yes, the phrase is, it takes a village, but you have to be a part of that village,
right?
You know, so you only get what you give. If you want your village to help you in your time of need, you need to show up for other people. And I think that is also something that we should consider as small business owners. Okay?
As human beings, too.
As human beings, too, yes.
Well, it's definitely a two-way street. Yeah. And I'll tell you, I've made it a personal, I don't know, thing that I kind of navigate through where I do things out of the kindness of my heart just because I want to do it and not because I expect something in return, because I feel like that also is a slippery slope when you're like, let me go ahead and support my community, and then my expectations when I'm in need, they support me. I mean, you know, I probably wouldn't do that. But I agree with you where it's like
you cannot expect someone to give you something when you are not being helpful in any way, though.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's just good standard practice. The angle I would take is if you do this, just like any of the other marketing initiatives that we recommend, doing this strategically can get you really, really far in promoting your small business with a limited budget. Okay. So you're not going to have to dish out a ton of money. But what I mean by that is, let's say that you're a pizza place.
Okay.
And you are targeting families because obviously you want parents to bring in their kids and their friends and, you know, enjoy the pizza. Sure. That's your target audience.
Okay.
It would make sense that you align yourself with organizations that help children.
Yes.
Okay. So, you know, if you want to support a gala event that's going on for a children's children's advocacy group or something like that, that makes sense. And then when you're sharing that stuff, whether through a press release, whether on your social media, over time, people start to affiliate, like you said, your brand image and reputation then starts to get linked to goodwill done towards children, right? Obviously, you're caring for them. You are invested in making sure that the children in your community are taken care of through whatever mechanism. I know here we have a Low Country orphanage relief.
Okay.
They're always taking donations, right? And so partnering with an organization like that, sponsoring some of their stuff, or even sponsoring. I know we've talked about sponsorships from the perspective of like, hey, it's exchanging for promotional benefit, but think of it this way too. You could also sponsor a drive, a food drive. You could sponsor a clothing drive. These are things that you don't have to dish money out for, but you're helping and aligning yourself with another organization. And the exchange is still going to be promotional benefit because they're going to want to make sure that drive for clothing is going to be as successful as anyone, else would want it to be. So they're going to be promoting you and telling people like, hey, go to this business, drop this stuff off while you're there, eat a piece of pizza, whatever, right?
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of, what is it, the Book It Club? Pizza Hut? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
It wasn't a thing when I was growing up, so I missed that mark.
You guys tell us in the comments because that will give us a good indication of the age range of people listening to this podcast. If you remember the Book It Club, leave us like, a little thumbs up or something in the comments. But for those of you that aren't aware, I think maybe what you're, in bringing it up, what you're tying it to is the fact that Pizza Hut had this whole promotion for children to encourage children to read. And so what they would do is give you this big old pen that you could put stars on. And every time that you read a book, you would get a star on your pen. And once the pen was filled, you could go to Pizza Hut and get your own personal pan pizza as a kid.
I have a better example, okay, because that one's not necessarily, that was Pizza Hut doing it on its own,
Well,
correct?
it was, but what I'm saying is I don't know, and I'd be curious. I'm going to go look it up after this episode. I'd be curious to know if they actually aligned with an organization that was a reading advocacy organization, because that would make sense to me.
It would. And the better example that's along the same line. So when I was growing up, we didn't, when I was growing up, we didn't have Pizza Hut, but we had Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
And so Chick-fil-A, but it was through the school.
Okay.
So the school would track how many books you read. And then when you got to a certain amount, you got like a free Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Okay.
I'm going to have to ask Mom. I think that's true. I don't actually remember. I'm like, I remember this, but I'm like, well, am I remembering this wrong?
Maybe it was just something Mom did for you.
No, because I remember you would get little laminated card
Oh, okay. And
that
then
you
would
would take to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Well, and so that's case in point. That's another way for an organization to creatively get involved and sponsor something, right? Teaming up with the local school districts.
Exactly.
Now, granted, I don't know how much money over time they spent because giving away little chicky sandwiches to kids that, probably were not reading their books. No, I'm joking.
Whoa. Whoa.
Kids that were lying, saying they read books. But
not me.
Obviously, that's a cost they incur, right?
Yes.
Main point, though, I think the main takeaway that we want you guys to just understand is sponsorships are a really good investment if you go about it strategically and if you sit down and think about how you can better align your brand with what you want your potential customers to know about your business.
Yeah.
I know somebody here... You hate that I bring up insurance agency.
I was waiting for Vivian to bring up. I thought you were going to bring up insurance when you were talking about pizza.
No.
But you didn't. I was like, whew, we made it through the episode. No, go ahead. Talk about insurance.
There's someone here locally that does and has done a very spectacular job of this. Now, granted, his business has grown, and the more he grows, the more sponsorships he does of local organizations and teams and all of that. And I think it's just really good because now his name has become synonymous with somebody who is heavily involved in the community.
Yes.
Probably to his detriment sometimes, because I think he gets like selected to handle things. He's probably like, I don't got any more time to do this. But it's great because it does create that visibility. And that's the thing is, I think maybe we are so obsessed with the social media aspect of marketing right now as small business owners, because we're like, it's free. It's something I could do quickly, log into my phone, post something, promote my business, my product.
Yeah.
Yes, lovely. We love social media. However, do not forget about some of these old school ways that you can go out there and promote your business. I mean, you're going to get a rush whenever you see those little baseball boys, little kids out there running, and
Please word this better.
these baseball kids.
You're going to love it when you see your logo on t-shirts.
Yes. But it's better than what I was actually gonna say. I was gonna say these baseball booties.
I need you to think about your words.
What I mean is,
Yes.
like Chelsea said, you're going to love seeing your logo on the back of these baseball jerseys.
Yes.
And it is something that I think does, as a small business owner, you go in and you're like, let me leverage this even more. Let me be sure that I'm sharing with people that I am involved and I am sponsoring this stuff.
Yes. Okay. This was a good conversation. It went
Minus
off the rails a little bit at times, but no, it was the both of us, so it's fun. Okay, y'all, so it is time for the TLDL section. Too long didn't listen, so I'm going to give you a quick summary of what we talked about today. Sponsorships. Sponsorships are great for small business owners. It helps you build a great story, so great for storytelling, increased visibility and awareness. It helps you with your reputation and brand image, and it's also great for customer loyalty. Sponsorships come in a range and variety, so you can find one within your budget, okay? Because they can go anywhere from $100 to
Off the charts.
Off the chart. Some key notes: keep your target audience in mind if you are trying to get a return on investment from your sponsorship, but you can also just focus on your core values and sponsoring things that you believe in, organizations you believe in. So, friendly reminder, everyone, we are building a marketing cult here. So if you are not following or subscribed, make sure you do that. Also, pretty please leave us a 5-star review. It helps us get in front of other small business owners. And we're just trying to share as much marketing information and tips and tools and everything to as many small business owners as possible. Also, reminder, once again, if you have a topic or want to tell us something, or whatever it may be, go to the website.
If you want to curse us out.
I mean, you can't. I'll play it. I don't care. I'll call you out too. This person decided to curse at us. Here's the audio. But we can now take audio messages on the website. So sobmarketing.com. And go be the best SOB you can be.